Watch this video till the very end, and one of two things should happen in my opinion. One, you will either invest in Realio, either now or in the future, or two, you will have realised the RWA market, real world asset market, is one that you want to research further and get into. So either way guys, it's a win-win. This is going to be totally original content. I highly suggest you grab yourself a drink, buckle up and take on board what I'm about to share with you. And that will be, one, the skinny from the white paper. It's too long to go through, it's 40 pages long. But yeah, I'll be giving you some key snippets from that so you can understand what this project's about. But also, more importantly, I'm also going to reveal why I think investors are missing out on this one. I genuinely do believe, and it's quite interesting. And also then we're going to take a deep dive into how safe or not this project is. So we're going to be looking at interesting stuff like this. Now it's always tempting to start a video with this to grab your attention, but I've been a bit sneaky not sneaky, but you know what I mean, by giving you an inclination of what's coming. But this should be catching your attention. Wow, I just found this precious gem. This is 150x from here in 2025 for sure. So yeah, there's bags of good stuff coming up. So before we carry on though, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the new subscribers. To get 16, given the size of my channel, in just over 24 hours, that's just phenomenal. And a big thank you to Stephen, who reached out to me to tell me off his own bat. I spoke to somebody else about putting it on their site and stuff. So it appears, the content's going down well. So if you appreciate this, not only by subscribing do you get to learn about projects and take a deep dive, but you're also helping YouTube get it pushed, so their investors can really understand what they're getting into, and then get it in front of not the same regurgitated shit type videos. So I'm trying to get to 100 by Christmas Day, and you guys are giving me a shot of doing that, so thank you very much. Okay, without further ado, let's crack on. While stock trading and public market digital infrastructure are largely developed, the private investment markets and other forms of asset trading have seen very little technology or regulatory advancement in the past century. This incredible market imbalance, combined with the emergence of DLT technology, positions us with the potential for disruption and reshaping of the private securities industry. So guys, straight away off the bat, you can see the opportunity in terms of the market here. And following on from that, there is currently a massive opportunity to capture value within the private investment marketplace with disruptive technology, given this market's high friction, lack of transparency, liquidity and complicated regulatory environment. At over 7 trillion in size, the global private real estate markets are a prime example. That's not the only market here, so I hope the pennies drop in about how big RWA is here. So this is their vision. As a blockchain enabled issuer, fund manager and technology provider, our mission is to merge private equity with blockchain technologies and provide much broader global access to institutional quality investment products that create long-term value and build wealth. We aim to provide a link between a global retail investment community and cash-generating investment opportunities, opening up access to previously untapped global capital markets where transactions take place 24/7, instantly, with little or no cost and without borders. So again, this is exciting to me. This is their abstract, should I say. I'm not going to go for many more, stick with me here, but it's important you know this stuff. Realio is a digital issuance, investment and peer-to-peer trading platform that utilises a proprietary distributed network for an issuing on and interconnecting decentralised ecosystems. The platform leverages both a permissioned and permissionless architecture to satisfy the need of stringent security regulations, whilst allowing uniquely democratised access to investment products normally reserved for a select subset of institutional investors. We source investment opportunities across many asset classes with a focus on real estate, private equity, and we also provide the tools for third-party issuers to digitise their assets and raise capital within the network or use our tech stack as a private white label solution. I just want to bring your attention to this bit, how it works. So number one, users stake Realio on Realio X to use the platform and pay the variable 0.1% taker fee. Users earn taker fees paid by other users in Rio for placing maker limit orders. Users stake Rio to become market makers. Market makers earn rewards in newly minted Rio for providing liquidity. Alright, there's a shitload in here, and it talks about the massive opportunity, the baby boomers. There's going to be so much wealth that is going to be transferred, and those people it's getting transferred to, I guess, are kind of my age, really. Or, you know, if you're roughly about my age, then we're more tech savvy. They just go on to explain why this is such a big opportunity. There's going to be so much money passed down. It's untrue. I wish a lot of it more was to me. But check this out. By calculating with an average asset value of 50 million, this means that the equilibrium Realio ecosystem would be managing over 1.5 trillion worth of assets. So they themselves would be managing that much. I just think it's colossal. And I could talk about this for an hour, but we both don't have that time. But hopefully that's giving you enough to capture your attention about Rio itself. But even if Rio isn't for you, that this is definitely a market that you want to be getting into, in my opinion. Now let's talk about why I think investors have been missing out on this. And this is because they've been taking this at face value and thinking this data is correct. You know, the market cap, okay, attractive enough because it's small, it means you can gain, that's not a problem. Volume, but look at this, circulating supply is only 8.76. A lot of investors will pass on this immediately, in my opinion, because the circulating supply is saying that it's so low. However, check this out. Time to speak up, Rio community. It's time for CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko to display the accurate Rio tokenomics. Time to make some noise. The correct stats: circulating supply 55.5 million, total supply 75 million, market cap 37.8. So when you compare that to that, there's a big difference. Now of course the market cap is much higher, but so is the volume, but also there's a massive difference here. And I think that if investors saw the real information, they would look into this further, and I think that's why I think they're missing an opportunity. That said, I have noticed since I first started researching this, there's some good fella here who's actually highlighted it, but this was only yesterday, so you guys watching this have got an opportunity before this becomes common knowledge. So I think, you know, this is bollocks really. It would appear anyway, because this is what they're saying. And just to let you know, this only come out on the circa the 8th. You can see their comments here. There seems to be plenty of support for it. So at this point you may be thinking, okay, you've got my attention, Paul, this is something I might be interested in, so it's time to do the nitty gritty, the deep dives into more about this project, how safe we think it is, price potential, all that good stuff, and if there's a community to start being able to fathom and make an informed decision. So one of the risks, as we do regular on this channel, is want to see the holders, and the good news is one account, the maximum percentage is 19%, so straight away that's a big tick for me. Again, if you're new to the channel, you don't want this to be a high percentage because then you'd be in risk of being dumped on, so that's really good. Next we want to see what kind of communities we've got going on for it. So 56,000 followers isn't too shabby at all, and we also want to know that they're active, and as you can see, only 2 hours ago, so that's promising, although there's a bit of a gap there, but they are active on here, so that's another big tick for me. Also, if we go into their Discord, you can see that there's 7,000 members. I have come across a lot bigger groups than this, but equally, at least there's quite a few there, and there's some online now. So again, that's another tick. But how safe is it? So I'm going to do 2 scans, and full disclosure, you can come to this site, DeFi Scanner, and put it in yourself, but it does give you different ones, or different chains should I say, to be able to do, so the results may differ. But I'm going to run with this one because I just thought it was the best one, but I just want to be transparent, it may not be, so just bear that in mind. Now, DeFi score, you can see here, the score provides an indication of how safe the contract is based on our analysis. We take into account both the amount and the severity of detected issues. Please use this as a guidance only, and always do your own research. So 90 to 100, no risk detected, and it's got 100 out of 100. Another massive tick. We've got attention required. Just full transparency, on the few that I've done so far, I've not seen any without any attention required. And we do need to be pragmatic about this, in my view, because yeah, you're always going to see some things come up, but it's about evaluating them. So the good news straight away is, fair enough, these are eyes, so it's giving you information, but they're not X's like red crosses or anything, which I have seen. So it's saying rug pull risk. Most of the tokens' liquidity is not locked, facilitating a potential pulling of large percentage of funds from the liquidity pool. But this is quite a common one, guys. I've seen this quite a lot. So in my view, whilst yes, it's a risk, I don't think it is in a lot of the cases. But again, none of what I'm saying is financial advice. You make your own call on it. I'm no expert in this. It's a relatively new website that I'm getting to grips to, same as the other one I'm about to show you. Low liquidity. The token's liquidity is low, possibly resulting in high volatility or loss of swap functionality. Dump risk. Well, I don't see how that is a dump. There is a dump risk when we've just seen from the other side that there's only 19%. So let's just have a look at that, see what it says. A significant percentage. So I think this is the only. I think this is probably down to their own metrics. Maybe if it's any account holding more than 10, it pops up. I don't know. But for me, 19%, I don't see that as a risk. Mintable. Just about every single one I've seen, well, quite a few at least anyway, comes up with this one, and it's just being able to mint more coins. Now, proxy upgradability, I did do some research on this, and see yesterday's video. I'm not going to go through the same article again today, but the gist on a proxy upgradability, should I say, is that it can be a better thing than no proxy contract if you trust the owners. Okay, that was my gist of understanding on proxies, because whether you trust the owners and whether they change it or not. So that is something to be mindful of. Now, on the flip side, look at all the ones that are ticked. Look at all these, all ticked. Just keeps going, all ticked, all good. So that's a really good sign. Then we get to general detectors. We've got a few more here. Have a look at them in your own time. We'll be here for all day, but nothing's screaming to me off the bat anyway as a major concern. But by all means, go and look in these deeper. But all these are ticked. Those are good. And then let's have a look at proxy. All of them are good. So that's one scanner, but we don't just want to rely on one scanner. We're also going to look at another. And this is from 4 different data sets. So they've got the contracts verified. Honeypot, no. Buy tax, no. Sell tax, proxy contract. This is actually saying there isn't one, whereas the other one is putting as a potential. But given 4 data sets are actually saying no, it would appear that is more likely the case. Mintable, they all agree on this. So you have to make a decision whether that is something you're willing to invest in or not. All this is good. All ticks. Yeah, all ticks. And the only concern is there's other risks, but I don't know what those other risks are. So for me, that is the most concerning, I guess. And it could be any one of the ones that has been identified over there. But the reality check, guys, is if you want to make big gains, you are going to find coins with some shit like this that's highlighted, and you just need to be able to take a view on what negatives potentially are highlighted. That's just the harsh reality of cryptocurrency, I'm afraid. But nothing is screaming to me, don't invest in this. Is it higher risk than the likes of XRP? Of course it is. But is it going to give you a shitload more X than them? Absolutely. So you've got to make a call on getting the balance right on which one you want to go for. Now we'll just look at a few of the key team members. The CEO first of all. So this is Derek. You can see from this, I'm just going to pick out a few bits here instead of reading it all. Vastly experienced, owns 2 regional centres, hosts over 100 investors and sponsors, over 1.2 billion in total project cost. He was also involved in a major urban real estate projects, etc, etc, blah blah blah, and this was worth in excess of 70 billion in total value, all across the world basically, look. And then prior to all this, he managed the design, development and construction efforts for Colombia's ongoing 6 billion plus academic mixed use expansion, including the new Colombian Business School, a 600 million project. Clever guy. Then I want to have a look at Eduardo, if that's pronounced correctly. What I like about this, he's got baggage of experience, but he's actually worked in the industry. I'm always a firm believer people who actually understand the industry are likely to create better products, services, whatever. So I think that stands us in good stead. That said, I want to be completely transparent about all the information that I found out, and this site does not reflect that well, because it says competitive landscape of Realio. Realio has a total of 147 competitors and it ranks 147th amongst them. So that's pretty shit, innit? Let's call it for what it is. But how they evaluate that, I don't know. And it could be down to certain information being available, maybe they're new, so just be open-minded. And it always says, I've not seen one of these where they've said funded yet. They've always been unfunded. So I don't think they class seed funding as being funded, but again, do your own research. And to emphasise that point, you know, there's numerous articles here with funding in relation to Realio and partners. It's 250 million here, there's another 5 million here. So, you know, it doesn't look like they're shy on funding, does it really? Now onto price. You can see here the issues that Realio are having. We don't have a reliable source of circulating supply for this coin. You can set it manually below to calculate potential. So there's obviously an issue with getting the data, for whatever reason that may be, from Realio to CoinMarketCap, and judging from the Twitter feed, it appears the problem is at CoinMarketCap, but of course I don't know. So what's this thing going to be worth? Now you have to take what people in the chat with a pinch of salt. I mean, there's 150 here. I think I saw even 200 somewhere. 100 buck easy. You know, you have to take it with a pinch of salt and see what you think. Nobody knows what price any coin will really achieve. But for me, based on this, 55.5 million, it's not a big circulating supply. So then we're going to have to exercise some common sense and look at this in market cap. If it's only 37.8 million, I can see why people are on about this being 100x potential. I really can, in a market with over 7 trillion. So yeah, longer one today, guys, but I thought it was important, and I hope, you know, you either do your own research more into this and this is maybe something that you pick up, or at the very least look into competitors and potentially get another token in this industry, because I think it'll be worthwhile. For me, I think it's got a lot of pluses. It's in the right industry, it's in a market that is colossal. There is a need for it. You know, you see that white paper about the fact that in this particular market there isn't all the, you know, what there is in the other markets that I said before, like the public market. So there is a need for this, and it just depends whether Rio is going to be that one. The negatives, obviously, with regards to a couple of things it highlighted, but nothing screamed at me. I suppose the more concerning thing would be that that site ranks it at the very bottom, 147, but I'm not sure how much weight I would put on that personally. But anyway, food for thought, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one tomorrow. Cheers guys, bye bye.